Sorry about that. I got cut off. Here I am. I'm back. Remember, folks, the goal here is to simplify the fraction, reduce it if you can. But we don't ever want it to be a decimal. So I get negative 5.5 here. So I can click on the math button and then FRAC, frac, will reduce it as a fraction for me. And I see that negative 11 halves cannot be reduced. That is the fraction as reduced as it can be. So I am going to factor this and put those in their magic spots here. They're both negative. And now I do the divide and slide, right, guys? So I've got to slide that denominator out front. We haven't done this in a while, so it's okay if you kind of forgot. Okay, so we've got to slide. Now, what I always tell my students is, look at this term. There's a 2 out front, right? 2x squared. This times this should always equal that. So that's a good way to double check that you have divided and slided correctly. Now, shortcut alert. We always said it's just going to end up being the opposite as to what's in the boxes. So right away, I know what my answers are going to be. But here's how we get there. Zero product property tells me I set each of those equal to 0. Well, part of the solving process is taking the opposite. So that's why I feel like I'm saying opposite a lot, but that's where it comes from, all right? So let's set them both equal to 0. I'll add 11 to both sides, divide by 2, and I get 11 divided by 2, or 5.5 if you like decimals, if you prefer decimals. All right, those are my 2 x-intercepts there. So this or that, this or that. All righty. Let's do our last one here. Now you can see we're trying to trick you a little bit because you should know by now that quadratics have to be set equal to what? Number 0, right? My x-intercept occurs when my y is 0. So I need my output to be 0. So I'm going to start by adding 9 to both sides. And then I get this quadratic there. And so I'm going to go on the side and do a little brain work and see if factoring or the quad formula is the right move here. And right away, I can see that 3 times 3, that added together is going to equal 6. So I'm going to try to factor this quadratic here. So I am going to build my diamond. A times C goes up top, 1 times 9. B goes on the bottom. And so 3 and 3 multiply to 9, but add to 6. And so now I'm going to divide and slide, right? What's 3 divided by 1? 3. 3 divided by 1 is 3. So my answer is going to be the opposite of that. They're the same number, right? So I'm just going to write it once, but we say that it has a multiplicity of 2, meaning that it's a double root. So you'll hear more about that later on in your math journey. But let's factor this, okay, guys? So x plus 3 times x plus 3 equals 0. We also could write this as x plus 3 squared, since it's just multiplied twice. And then if I set that factor equal to 0, I see that my answer is x equals negative 3, okay? So that would be my final answer there. All righty, so here are our quadratics, folks. Reminder that you should and actually will in your homework, your review preview today, you'll be typing some of these into Desmos and seeing the connections with the graph. So please keep doing that, and great way to check your work, all right? So here it is for today, folks. Email me if you have any questions, and have a fabulous day.